Hey guys, welcome back. Uh, Time for my weekly review. Those of you who tuned in last week know what it is, and those who didn't, this week was Wild Country by Avon. Very underrated house, Avon. They've been around for like over 100 years, or close to 100 years, something like that. They've got like over 300 fragrances. They collaborated with a lot of good perfumers, a lot of celebrities to make sense. So they're underrated. They're not a bad house at all. Yeah, let's get right into Avon Wild Country. It's a eau de cologne. It's a spray, eau de cologne spray. So we'll get into it though. There's the box. Nice box. I like the box. It's just a simplistic, almost brown cardboard box. Very simplistic. It's got a nice double lip. Here's the bottle. I like the shape of the bottle. Always loved. You guys have been watching my channel for a bit, or even new people may have noticed that I love a pretty simplistic bottle. I don't like just ridiculously complicated bottles for no reason. But you may like them. So we all like what we like. So not a bad bottle. Little sticker on here. Kind of like just a little sticker. Nothing fancy. Another sticker with your batch code and all that stuff that matches. Where's that? It's here somewhere anyway. The juice is kind of a rosy, ambery, rosy color. Not a bad juice. Cap goes on pretty good if you want to pick it up by the cap, you can. Atomizer looks cheap but performs really well. Like you get a lot of juice in a wide burst and a powerful burst from it. So put it right there and let you see it while I do the review, hopefully. Put it right there. Wrote it down, like I said, because I remember this shit. Avon Wild Country 1967, classified as an aromatic fougere. Accords are aromatic, woody, fresh, spicy, floral, and balsamic. Top notes are coriander, lavender, basil, anise, bergamot, lemon. Mid, carnation, sandalwood, heliotrope, cedar, geranium. Base is tonka bean, amber, musk, benzoin, oak moss, and vanilla. A lot of real nice notes in there. I wore it all week. It was a hard week. Not because I don't like it. Fougères are something I love, but they're also something I love in moderation. I don't think I've ever really worn one for a week straight. It's usually been a day or two when I want it to feel a little more manly. But yeah, no, I don't. So yeah, they were the notes. It's definitely an aromatic fougere. When you first spray it, you get a blast. I get a blast of citrus, the bergamot, and the lemon. Very fleeting. Like a couple minutes, it's gone. It's already gone from that spray. And now I get a huge dose of lavender. Really, the whole scent, the whole life of this scent, almost from start to finish, and I'll get into it, is lavender. Mixed with other things, you do pick up a little bit on the heliotrope and the geranium and the sandalwood and the basil, but they're in the back. They're on the back burner, man. This is This is a lavender balm. Straight up old school, man. Don't get much more old school than this that I'm aware of. This is that old fucking school. If you like barbershops and fougères in general, it's what you get. I'm telling you. It's then dries down into a somewhat sweet, light lavender, tongue-tied, a light lavender, sweet vanilla. It dry down is really nice on this. Really nice. Not that the top and the mid are bad. The top and the mid, super clean. That's what you smell like. You smell super clean. Like you literally just got out of the shower. People talk about all these soapy scents, Prada L'Homme, Prada Luna Rosa. A lot of Pradas are like that because the perfumer in Prada, I forget her name now, that's her main fucking theme is like lavender. So, but this smells like very nice, freshly showered with a nice soap. You know what I mean? Like just clean. And that was the thing. I never got any compliments wearing it. But I really didn't expect to. For a couple reasons. One is the smell. It is not a, ooh, you smell great type of scent. Also is its performance. I get about 4 hours out of it. Which is fine. It's an ode to cologne. I didn't expect any more than that, to tell you the truth, and neither should you. I got about 4 hours of it. Only projected really well. A good 1.5 feet, 2 feet out there. You know, good arm's length anyway. For about 45 minutes or so, and then it starts to sit real close to the skin. And within an hour, it's a skin scent. Like you've got to be in close. So I didn't expect a whole lot from it that way anyway. It has a very classic aftershave vibe to it, if I can say that. I said load it in that lavender and the way it performs and what forms very, very classic man aftershave. So the last couple days I wasn't getting any compliments, I wasn't getting any feedback, and I want to try to get feedback. So I broke my cardinal rule and I asked a few people. So these aren't compliments. I had to ask them. That's not a compliment. I've gotten to that before. I asked 10 people, 11 people, what they thought of it. All girls with the exception of one. Different age groups from about 16 all the way up to my grandmother. You know, my grandmother really liked it. Well, that's the thing, though. This is definitely a scent of a past generation, if you know what I mean. Like yesteryear, you know. It's anyway. Most of them said, nobody said it stunk. They all liked it, but there was no wow either. Like no wow factor to it. It wasn't like ooh, It was like the most common thing I got was smell clean. You smell clean. Almost every one of them, you smell clean. That's the simplest way I can put it. You smell clean. You smell soapy clean. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's actually a nice smell. The smell soapy clean. Yeah, every one of them soapy clean. The only really somewhat negative comment I got was a girl. She's about 30 years old. She said it smelled clean, but to her also kind of smelled sour. I'm thinking that might be the basil. Basil can kind of give off a coniferous sour note to it. So I had her smell it again about 2 hours later when I knew that basil was gone. And then she said, oh no, it's better now. It smells just clean. So on you guys, if your basil projects really well on you guys, you might want to avoid it because it might smell sour. But most people, it's just going to smell clean. There's nothing. Then I let a couple of them smell it in the dry down, the tail end of the dry down. And the same thing I said. They said it smelled like honey soap. There's no honey in it, but I mean that would just be like the benzoin, the vanilla, and the oak moss and the tonka bean. You know, giving it that coniferous sweet smell with the lavender. Yeah, honey soap. So not a bad scent, guys. Not a bad scent. It is what it is. Like I said, my grandmother loved it, but that's what this scent is. Made in the 60s. Made for the 60s. So, could I recommend it? As much as I like it, and I do like it, I couldn't recommend it. Not today. Unless you're like me and just a huge fan of barbershop scents and lavender heavy scents and soapy scents, then if you're not, this isn't going to change your mind, is basically what I'm saying. If you've never tried a lot of barbershops before, you've been afraid of them. Some people are afraid of them. They think they're too loud, and this is a perfect example of not being that loud. That would be one to try that way. So if you're new to the game and you don't want to really get into the barbershop thing, because you might think it's not for you, maybe you're, like I said, you're afraid of them. A lot of people are. They think they're too manly and too loud. This is a nice, soft barbershop scent, cheap, $10 from Avon, $15, depending on where you get it. Nice starter scent to try it out, and then, you know, if you like this, you might be able to even step up your game a little bit to a couple more of the designer type lavender heavy scents, soap scents, that, like I said, the Prada L'Homme, Prada Luna Rosa. If you can get your hands on it, Rive Gouche by Yves Saint Laurent, you know, stuff like that. Fendi Umo. Fendi Umo was a really weird but awesome fougere. I'll get into that. It's in my list somewhere, so I'll eventually get to it. I really like that one. That one I'm going to love wearing for all week. Again, not that I didn't like this, and it was just hard for me to wear it for a whole week. You know what I mean? Yeah, so that's it, guys. Like I said, longevity, about 4 hours. Projection, yeah, realistically about 45 minutes to an hour. Then it becomes a skin scent, you know, very close to the skin. I'm not going to age rate it because I hate when people do that. Oh, this is for an older person, younger person, blah, blah. No, try it. You be 15 or 65, try it. If you like barbershop lavender-based scents, try it. If you're new to the game and you don't know if you like barbershops and you're a little scared because you know there's a couple that you have smelled, like the aforementioned Rive Gouche, are very loud and project and very manly, this might be the one for you to try at least because it's softer, doesn't project as loud, doesn't last as long, and it's got a really sweet dry down. That'll be more similar to what you're used to nowadays, you know. So, dated, absolutely dated. But I'd also say on the same side of that coin, classic. Dated and classic. So give it a try, guys. Like I said, it's cheap. Don't cost much. If you want to try them, try them. If you already know, though, that you don't like barbershops or you don't like heavy lavender soapy scents, then no, it's not for you, obviously. But for the people who don't, or they like them, try, guys. Anyway, guys, that was it for this week. Let's see what we got up coming next week. What I got to wear next week. It's going to be Imposter. That's how I'm doing it. A cologne, and then a clone. A cologne, clone, clone, clone. So last week was 707. This week's going to be funny. Oh, God. I got to wear all week 1 trillion privé. Obviously a dupe, 1 million privé. I just love that name. 1 trillion. They're not even trying. Trillion's better than a million. We'll see. I do own a decant of 1 million privé, so I'll be able to compare a bit. But that's pretty much going from this to 1 million. I mean, you kind of can't get any more different, can you? All right, guys. See you next week. Probably see you in between sometime, do another aftershave or body spray or some kind of men's hygiene thing or style thing. Start doing a little more of that. Peace. Love. Be good to each other.